Hello students, myself Amrita Dhar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Engineering Department of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, JIS Group. I will teach you Power System 1.
In this video, I will discuss about wind energy system. Now this topic is included in module 1
of the subject Power System 1. Course code is PC-EE-502.
So let's start. Wind energy electricity generation. Now wind energy simply means kinetic energy of air in motion. Air flows on earth due to uneven heating of earth's surface by radiant energy from the sun. Now there are many places on the earth where the wind always present. As the wind is naturally available mechanical energy, we can use this mechanical energy to rotate the generator to produce the electricity. Now basically generating electricity by rotating generators with the help of wind is known as wind energy electricity generation, or simply wind power generation or wind electricity generation. Wind is a clean source of energy. It has no effect on the greenhouse on the atmosphere. It is a substitute for fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Although coal, petroleum and natural gas are the primary source of fuel for producing electricity, but the availability of such fuel is limited. Globally, 39.3% electricity are generated from coal. 22.9% electricity are generated from gas, 16% electricity is generated from hydro energy source, 10.6% is from nuclear source, and 4.9% is from solar, wind, geothermal, tidal, that means non-conventional sources. 4.1% electricity is generated from oil and from other sources. 2.2% electricity is generated. Now this data is taken from IEA Electricity Information 2017. Nowadays, globally 67% of electricity generated from fossil fuel, 13% from nuclear energy, and the rest of 20% from renewable energy sources such as hydro, solar, wind, tidal energy, etc. So we see how much the world depends on the fossil fuel for producing electricity, and that is why we focus on wind and other renewable energy sources to generate electricity. To overcome the dependence on fossil fuel, running cost of producing electricity with wind energy is quite low. Once the turbines are installed and there is no much maintenance required for a long time. Wind energy electricity generation system takes some land installation, but we can use most of the land for cultivation. So land is not a big issue for wind turbine generating system. In most of the cases, wind plants are installed at a good height to obtain sufficient wind to produce electricity. It is now the fastest growing electricity resource in the world. The next question is, what is wind turbine? Now the mechanism used to convert air motion into electricity is referred to as wind turbine. A wind turbine is a large structure with several spinning blades, and these blades are connected to an electromagnetic generator that generates electricity when the wind causes the blades to spin. Now one single wind turbine may not be able to produce the desired level of electricity. Hence, number of wind turbines are connected together to obtain the desired output. This assembly of wind turbines together is called a wind farm. Now we must choose the place for constructing a wind farm where the wind speed is sufficient to move the blade on the turbine. When the wind blows through the blades of a turbine, the turbine rotates to run a generator to produce electricity. And this electricity flows down through the cable attached to the turbine tower. and this cable is also interconnected with cables from the other turbines in the wind farm. Hence, electricity from all wind turbines come to a common node from where it is taken for further ends. After all, this electricity is used directly for domestic or industrial load or is drawn by any grid to fulfill the requirement of electricity. Next is the how does wind turbine work? Now, there is an air turbine of large blades attached on the top of the supporting tower of sufficient height. When the wind strikes on the blade rotates due to design and alignment of rotor blades. This shaft of the turbine is coupled with an electric generator. The output of the generator is collected through the electric power cables. Now next is the block diagram of wind turbine. Now when the wind strike the turbine's blade, this starts rotating and the turbine rotor is connected to the gearbox. Is connected to a high speed gearbox. Now gearbox transforms the rotor rotation from low speed to high speed. The high speed shaft from the gearbox is coupled with the rotor of the generator and hence its generator runs at a higher speed. Now an exciter is connected is needed to give the required excitation to magnetic coil of the generator field system so that it can generate the required amount of electricity. The generated voltage at the output terminal of the alternator is proportional to both the speed and the field flux of the alternator. The speed is governed by wind power which is out of control, hence to maintain uniformity of the output power from the alternator, excitation must be controlled according to availability of natural wind power. The exciter current is controlled by a wind turbine controller which senses the wind speed. Then output voltage of electrical generator alternator is given to a rectifier where the alternator output gets rectified to DC. Then this rectified DC output is given to line converter unit and convert it stabilized AC output which is ultimately fed to either electrical transmission network or electrical grid with the help of step-up transformer. An extra unit is used to give the power internal auxiliaries of wind turbine and this is called internal supply unit. There are two control mechanisms attached to a modern big wind turbine controlling the orientation of the turbine blade, controlling the orientation of the turbine face. The orientation of the turbine blade is governed from the base hub of the blades. The blades are attached to the central hub with the help of rotating arrangements through gear and small electric motor or hydraulic rotatory system. The system can be electrically or mechanically controlled depending upon its design. The blades are swept depending upon the speed of the wind. The technique is called pitch control. It provides the best possible orientation of the turbine blades along the direction of the wind to obtain the optimized wind power. The orientation of the nacelle or entire body of the turbine can follow the direction of changing wind direction to maximize mechanical energy harvesting from wind. The direction of wind with its speed is sensed by anemometer. Next is the construction of wind turbine. What are the components of wind turbine? Tower, nacelle, rotor blade, shaft, gearbox, generator and controller. First we start with tower. Tower of wind turbine. Now tower is very crucial part of wind turbine that supports all the other parts. It not only supports the turbine but raises the turbine to sufficient height so that its blade tips will be at safe height during rotation. Not only that, we have to maintain the height of the tower so that it can get sufficiently strong wind. The height of the tower ultimately depends on the power capacity of the wind turbines. The tower of the turbines in commercially wind power plants usually ranges from 40 meter to 100 meter. These towers may be either tubular steel tower, lattice tower, concrete tower, guide tower, hybrid tower, or we use a tubular steel tower for a large wind turbine. Now these are the normal manufactured in a section of 30 to 40 meters in height. Now each section has flanges with holes. Such sections are fitted together by nut bolts at the side to form a complete tower. The complete tower is a slight conical shape to provide better mechanical stability. We assemble a lattice tower by different members of steel or GI angles or tubes. All members are bolted or welded together to form a complete tower of desired height. The cost of this tower are much less than that tubular tower, but it aesthetically looks not as good as steel tubular towers. Although transportation, assembly and maintenance are quite easy, but still use of lattice tower is avoided in modern wind turbine plant due to its aesthetic look. There is another type of tower used for small turbines, and this is guide pole tower. Guide pole tower is a single vertical pole supported by guide from different sides. Guide from different sides. Because of numbers of guides, it is difficult to access the footing area of the tower. Because of that, we avoid this type of tower in the agricultural field. There is another type of wind turbine tower used for small power plant, that is hybrid tower. Now hybrid tower is also a guide type tower, but the only difference is that using a single pole in the middle, it uses a thin and tall lattice type tower. Hybrid tower is hybrid of both lattice and guide type tower. Now this tower uses both lattice type tower and guide type tower. So this is the hybrid combination of lattice tower and guide tower. Next is the nacelle of wind turbine. The nacelle is a big box or kiosk that sits on the tower and houses all the components of a wind turbine. It houses an electrical generator, power converter, gearbox, turbine controller, cable, yaw drive, etc. Next is the rotor blade or of wind turbine. Now blades are the main mechanical parts of a wind turbine, and the blades convert wind energy into usable mechanical energy. When the wind strikes on the blade rotates. This rotation transfers its mechanical energy to the shaft. We design the blade like airplane wings. The wind turbine blades can be 40 meters to 90 meters long. The blade should be mechanically strong enough to withstand strong wind even during the storm. At the same time, the wind turbine blades should be made as light as possible to facilitate the smooth rotation of the blades. For that, we make the blades with fiberglass and carbon fiber filter on synthetic reinforce. In the modern turbine, normally 3 identical blades are fitted to a central hub using nuts bolts. Each identical blades are aligned at 120 degree to each other, and the process makes a better distribution of mass and gives the system more smooth rotation. Next is the shaft of wind turbine. Now the shaft directly connected to the hub is a low speed shaft. When the blades rotate, this shaft spin with the same RPM as the rotating hub. We couple this shaft directly to the electrical generator in case of low speed generator, but in most cases the low speed main shaft is geared with a high speed shaft through a gearbox. In this way, the rotor blade transfer its mechanical energy to the shaft, which ultimately enters into an electrical generator. Next is the gearbox. The wind turbine does not rotate at high speed, rather it rotates gently at low speed, but most of the electrical generators require high speed rotation to generate electricity at a desired voltage level. So there must be some speed multiplication arrangement to achieve the high speed of the generator shaft. The gearbox of the wind turbine does this. Gearbox increases the speed to much higher value. For example, if the gearbox ratio is 1:80 and if the RPM of the low speed main shaft is 15, then the gearbox will increase the speed of the generator 15 into 80, that is 1200 RPM. Next is the generator. The generator is an electrical device that converts mechanical energy from shaft into electrical energy. Normally we use induction generator in modern wind turbines. Previously synchronous generators were popular for this purpose. Generally we use synchronous generators for our conventional power plants, but in wind power plants we use induction type generator, because induction type generator is known as asynchronous generator and the wind speed is asynchronous, so it is profitable to use asynchronous generator, that means induction generator in wind power system. Permanent magnetic DC generator also used in some wind turbine. The speed of the shaft can be made highly by using gearbox assembly, but we cannot make the shaft speeds constant. There may be fluctuation in shaft speed since it depends on the wind speed, so the speed of the rotor also varies. This variation affects the frequency voltage on the generated electric power. To overcome this issue, we normally use an induction generator for this purpose, because the induction generator always produces electric power synchronized to connected electrical grid. Irrespective of the speed of the motor, if we use 3-phase synchronous generator, then we first rectify the output power to DC, then convert it to AC of desired voltage and frequency. Rather, it varies with the speed of the rotor, because for the same reason in some cases we use DC generator for the purpose. In these cases, the output DC power from generator or inverter to AC of desired voltage and frequency before feeding it to the grid. Next is the power converter. Because wind is not always constant, so electrical potential generated from a generator is not constant, but we need a very stable voltage to feed the grid. A power converter is an electrical device that stabilizes the electrical alternating output voltage transfer to the grid. Next is the turbine controller. The turbine controller is a computer PLC that controls the entire turbine. It starts and stops the turbine and runs self-diagnostic in case of any error in the turbine. Anemometer, it measures the wind speed and passes the speed information to PLC to control the turbine. Wind vane, it senses the direction of the wind and passes the direction to PLC, and then PLC faces the blades in such a way that it cuts the maximum wind. Pitch drive. Pitch drive motor controls the angle of blade. Whenever the wind changes, it rotates the angle of the blade to cut maximum wind, which is called pitching of blades. Yaw drive, blades and other components in wind turbine are housed in a nacelle. Whenever any change in the wind direction is there, the nacelle has to face in the direction of the wind to extract the maximum energy from the wind. For this purpose, yaw drive or motor is used to rotate the nacelle, and it is controlled by PLC that uses the wind vane information to sense the wind direction. Now, different types of wind turbine are horizontal axis wind turbine and vertical axis wind turbine. First is horizontal axis wind turbine. In this type of wind turbine, turbine rotor couples the electrical generator, and this turbine generator set is placed on the top of the turbine tower. A wind sensor with the servo motor keeps the axis of the turbine along the path of the wind. Although in small turbine a wind vane does the purpose, the turbines commonly have a gearbox in between the turbine shaft and the generator shaft. The function of this gearbox are to provide mechanical coupling between these two shafts and to step up the slow rotating speed of the turbine blades to a high rotating speed of the generator. A wind electric power generating station uses three blades horizontal axis wind turbines. Three blades design is more mechanically stable and can have less torque ripple. The blade length may be vary from 20 meter to 80 meter and usually of bright white color so that any aircraft can view comfortably. A turbine with the blade length of 80 meter may have rating up to 8 megawatt. The height of the large commercial turbine may be up to 70 meter to 120 meter and may be up to 160 meter in the extreme. The modern wind turbine system use steel tubular supporting poles. The RPM of a large wind turbine may be from 10 to 22. Such turbine blades cannot achieve rotational speed more than that. As I told earlier, we use a gearing box. To step up this slow speed is required to the required high speed of the generator. Although there are some design in which the rotor turbine shaft, the turbine rotor shaft directly couples the generator, as the rotational speed of a wind turbine varies with the variation of the wind pressure. The modern wind turbine use solid state converter to convert the generated electrical energy to a required voltage level and frequency to fit the electrical grids. No one can control the wind pressure on the blades by any means. It entirely depends on the nature. The designers provide a protective system to all large wind turbines which aligns the blade edge faces depending on the speed of the wind so that we can avoid breakage of the blade during the high speed wind pressure. We call this technique feathering. Next is vertical axis wind turbine. Then there are another type of wind turbine which uses vertical aligned rotating shaft. We call this type of turbine vertical axis wind turbine. As it has the vertical shaft, it does not have to align itself with the wind, and hence using this turbine are more suitable where the direction of the wind significantly varies. We can install this wind turbine even on the rooftop since the height of this turbine is much lesser than that of the horizontal axis wind turbine. Another significant advantage of this type of wind turbine, we can extend it to the bottom level where we can couple a generator with a vertical shaft with the help of ground-based gearbox which facilitates easier maintenance. In spite of so advantages over horizontal axis wind turbine, we do not use vertical axis wind turbine for bulk power generation as the power output is quite less in vertical axis wind turbine compared to horizontal axis wind turbine. The theory of wind turbine and Bethe coefficient. Now the extracted power from the wind turbine can be written as Pk is equal to 0.5925 into half rho AV V1 cube, where V1 is the wind velocity of the wind at inlet of the duct, and A is the area and rho is the density of the air. Now from the above equation it is found that the theoretical maximum power extracted from wind is the fraction of 0.5925 of its total kinetic power. This fraction is known as Bethe coefficient, and this calculated power is according to theory of wind turbine, but the actual mechanical power received by the generator is lesser than that and is due to the losses for friction, rotor bearing and inefficiencies of aerodynamic design of the turbine. So from this equation we can conclude that the power directly proportional to air velocity rho. As air density increases, the power of the turbine increases. Then it directly proportional to swept area of the turbine blades, that is A. If the length of the blade increases, the radius of the swept area increases, so the power of the turbine increases. And turbine power also proportional to the velocity of cube of the velocity of the wind, that indicates if the velocity of wind doubles, the turbine power will increase to 8 folds.
That's all from today's class. If you have any problem, please contact with me. My contact details is given on the first slide. Thank you.